Jeez, look at all that rust. That is surprising, considering how good it is on the outside. It is pretty rusty on the inside, but it comes off. So let's deal with that first before we worry about the outside. Okay, let's see what we can do here. That is way cleaner, and it'll be a lot cleaner after I rinse it and run a paper towel around it. Give it a coating of oil. Alright, it's pretty mostly rust free in there now. I can't really see very well inside, but I can see enough to know that it's not like it was before. Alright, let's get to it. I feel like half that wire wheel is in my hair. There's not much of it left. Look at it. I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up. There's like all the little brass pieces are stuck in my shirt. There's a bunch in my hair and all over my shorts and all over the floor and everything behind me. Wear your safety goggles, kids. Alright, I went out, spent some money, got new brass wire wheels, and I got the little cone-shaped ones. And then I also bought the little shield, which is something I probably should have had to begin with because these things just fling those little wires everywhere. I'm still picking them off me, and it's been like an hour. Yeah, there's one right there. I don't know if that's going to show, but anyway, they're just everywhere. They're poking into my skin. It's driving me nuts. So hopefully this shield will keep them kind of at bay. Well, the shield doesn't fit on my extension. And I don't want to use that. I like using this. That sucks. Alright. Dremel, there's an opportunity. Make one that fits this. Still a lot of paint, like there's some here, some spots I've missed. It's hard to see it when the dust builds up, and then down in the crevices here, I can see some lines where there's stuff on there. And some paint. A lot of it just scratches off with your fingernail too. I mean, it's not really on there very well. But this red paint is a little bit tougher for some reason on the bottom than it was on the top. The top stuff just came out right off, but the bottom stuff it's on there. See, there's a little bit of surface rust that was under the paint there. Just a tiny bit. Some scars from something. Probably the bit misaligned. Yeah, there's another one in there. I got a few spots I got to clean up. Like there's a little bit of paint here and there and there. I'm going to do that real quick. All right, that is one naked grenade. It is ready for bluing. I'm sure I got to go through this and pick off some spots that I couldn't quite get. There's an edge under here that still has a little bit of red paint, but it's pretty much ready to go. I need to clean myself up too. But I'll probably just do the rest of it with an X-Acto knife. You know, I can just scrape off whatever little tiny spots. That was more difficult than I expected it to be. Not difficult, I should say, time consuming. I thought it would go a little bit quicker. I definitely need a shower. Alright. I think I'm going to go ahead and start bluing this. I think I'm going to tape this edge so I don't get any bluing on the brass, because something tells me you're not supposed to do that. Grenade's all clean. This stuff stinks, if I remember correctly. Oh, I'm running low. It's neat to watch though. Yeah, check this out. Try not to get any on myself. Look at that. Just turns dark. Like, ooh, now I can smell it. This really highlights the spots I missed. there's still paint on it. See all that? I don't know how I'm going to get that shit off now. Strip the bluing and hit it again. This will give it a little protection. I need to go rinse with cold water now. Alright, it's mostly dry. It's still water sitting in the recesses, but I'm gonna polish it up. See what it looks like underneath. And for that, we need some steel wool. If you can see that change, look at, I don't know if you can see how dull that is. Just a few little brushes with steel wool there, and it gets pretty bright. You can really see all the spots where the paint didn't want to come up, like right here. There's like little spots, just, I don't know if that picks up on the camera. There's a little thing right there, just little tiny spots. And a lot of these are in the grooves, the cut mark from the lathe when it was made. And so I'm kind of like, what am I going to do to get that out? I think I need to Dremel that, the wire wheel again. There's just so much of it there that I thought was gone. It's not, though. Okay, that's much, much better. That bluing, the nice thing is it's a chemical, so it does a chemical reaction to the metal, changes the color, so it actually soaked through the paint. When I removed the little bits of paint that was left, it was still blued underneath, which was cool. And the bluing really helped me spot those spots, because when it's shiny bare metal, they're hard to see. It's like trying to spot white on something silver. You know, it's hard, hard to do. So I need to clean this off again since I did the Dremel, and then I am ready to do a second coating, and yeah, we'll see how the second coating goes. This is pretty dark though already, so maybe, I think just 2 coats. 2 coats and call it good, because it's dark. Okay, it's more or less dry. There's a little bit of water still in the crevices. It's hard to get it all. Let's give it a little polish. I actually think it looks pretty awesome, kind of flat like that. But it rubs off. It's looking pretty sexy. I think it looks good at 2, but I'm gonna check with Ian and see what he likes. And but I might do 1 more coat at most, but I personally think 2 is where it's at. Alright, next I need to do a little experiment here. I've heard that aluminum black, which I have on hand, blackens brass. I've got a little piece of scrap brass here that I'm going to use and test it on. But the reason why I want to do it is because if you look at reference photos of the real prop, you know, the Obi-Wan saber, the part that is underneath the wind vane here, this section, and even the wind vane itself is very dark. Above that, it's pretty bright brass. You know, this part above it, it's fine, but like I would want it much darker and flat underneath that spot. So that's why I'm going to try using some aluminum black if I can. And actually, I have a pretty good example here. With this other grenade, the neck is very dark, exactly in that spot. It's pretty cool. The patina on it is pretty awesome. So it would naturally want to look a lot more like that. This other grenade is just a little too, it's a little too bright, as you can see. Let me get a better handle on these. So you can see how much darker this one is than that one. And that's the one I just redid the frag body on and cleaned it all up. It's very nice looking now, but it's too pretty. It's too clean, and we can't have that. So we got to make it accurate, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a little quick test. If it turns out successful, then we're gonna apply some aluminum black onto this neck to make it look right. Rub down. I'm just gonna dunk it in there. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Watch the chemical reaction happen. Interesting. You can see where my fingerprint was. It's not adhering to the brass. So, it does turn it black though. It's curious to see what it looks like after I rinse it and take a closer peek. So it darkened it for sure. I haven't rubbed it or anything yet. It's just been rinsed off with cold water. So let's see how sticky it is. What kind of effect we're going to get out of this. It's pretty good though. It almost looks steel-like. It almost has like a bluing type effect. I did expect it to be more flat. That's pretty similar. I mean, you can't tell because you're getting a bad glare, but like the color looks about right. It is shinier. It's not as flat, but I can make it flatter. The color is right. That is very interesting. Okay, I would call that a success. We're gonna move forward. All right, I'm gonna apply a little masking tape to the top of this thing because the last thing I want to do is mess up the bluing. I've already finished. These rubber gloves. Yeah, look at how dark it is now. This is the one that was naturally already dark. I mean, this is shinier, but it's as dark. Almost, well, maybe not as dark. It's pretty dang close. It's not as flat. This is definitely shinier, but it's impressive. Alright, I want to show this. This is kind of what I'm trying to replicate here. So dark that is. And this is the other grenade that just naturally has a dark neck on it. Alright, so this is looking pretty good, but honestly, I think this wind vane needs to be a little bit darker. It actually looks super dark in this video, but it's not. Let me get it closer to the light. You can see the difference in color between them. It's significant. Actually, one side is, funny enough, one side is darker than the other. So if I show you this, and let me try and get a light on it. So I think that side is lighter and then this side is darker. So it has a lovely patina on it, which I hate removing. But I'm gonna take some steel wool to this, polish it up, and I want it to match kind of what we see in our reference photos. So I'm gonna polish it up. I'm gonna apply some aluminum black to it to give it that nice dark color, but I don't want it to be as dark because I think in the reference photos it's not quite as dark, but it does seem like there's something on the wind vane to kind of fuzz it up. I don't know. The detail isn't as sharp as a lot of the others. A lot of the detail that I see on, let me start over talking here. The detail that I see in this, I mean, this isn't the right wind vane anyway, but like, to be totally accurate, but the text is like very clear. It's very readable, cleanly stamped, and so it's a little too nice and neat. And I think that the reference photos, if you really zoom in on them, you will see that they are not so clean and neat. They kind of have something on them. Could be tape, could be paint, could be just some schmutz. Anyway, I'm going to show you guys this reference photo real fast. Alright, so this is what I'm talking about. See how dark it is? It matches that, but it doesn't match this part of the neck. Dark, dark. I mean, this one it looks dark here too, but light, dark, dark. And so this is not dark enough. Even on the dark side, it's not dark enough. And I'm going to make it match closer to this, and then I'm going to age it with some ammonia. You can see how bright it is now. I'm going to put on a rubber glove so I can finish the rest here. If I can get a rubber glove on without destroying it. I ran out of rubber gloves, so I salvaged the last one I used. And it's enough. You know, another weird thing is I don't think any of these other wind vanes have this little notch right here. There's like a little raised spot there. I see it on the bottom. There's a spot that hits that little there's a little pin on here that it stops against to keep it from screwing down any further. So I think it's really interesting that that one does that, because let's see, that one doesn't have it. That one doesn't have it. That one doesn't have it. Yeah. None of the ones I've done before have had that. So it's interesting. Not quite sure what it's for. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to apply this really super fast and then dunk it in the water to give it a rinse, because I don't want it to be as dark as the bottom of the neck, but I want it to be dark. So otherwise I got to dial it back with some steel wool, which is fine, but I'd rather it be a little bit more natural. the interesting stuff. And I think we're good. Get that reaction stopped. Yeah, look at that, that's nice. It's dark, but not too dark. Very cool. That was a sharp looking Hales. Okay, since I don't know what ammonia is going to do to the steel, I'm going to cover it. And we got holes in the top and the bottom, so we're going to use some tape. Alright, need some ammonia, and I need saran wrap. And I got this that I can set that in there, pour some ammonia in, set this in the bottom. Don't need it. Oh man. Oh, I forget how bad ammonia smells. Don't need a lot of it. Wow. God, it's terrible. Oh. Oh, jeez. That is pungent. Alright, it's been 30 minutes. See, not much has happened. It's been almost an hour now. Not a whole lot of change. Alright, so I've discovered that, I don't know if this isn't really picking it up, but like the ammonia made the ammonia black, the blacking turn hazy on this. It's a lot darker on here, so on the neck than it is up here, and I'm gonna have to take it off and redo it. That really sucks. Alright, just for fun, I put it on my Obi-Wan saber just to see how it looks. Looks pretty awesome. Just want to show it next to the printout here. So here's the printout. Let me grab it by the top here. Anyway, it looks pretty good. It's a pretty good match. I'm pretty happy with the way it's turned out. Hopefully Ian likes it. I'm also going to show you what it looks like next to my grenade, the first one I restored, which is the one that's normally on my lightsaber, just to give you a comparison of the level of repair that was done to mine versus this one, which didn't need repair. It just needed to be made accurate. Alright, here are the two grenades next to each other. I don't know if you can tell, look how craggy mine is. I mean, it was on the brink. This thing is in beautiful condition to start with. The only downside to it is we couldn't get that neck to come off no matter what I tried. I mean, I tried for over a month on different things trying to get it to come off, and it just won't. But anyways, they're significantly different in condition and I'm sure value. But yeah, I mean, it was quite a journey even with just this one to get it to look right, get it to be more accurate to what the Saber actually looks like. So interesting journey. I've got 3 more to go.